It was something alive. It was not a robot. It was like more like a being, like an entity.
Bulky, dark, slate gray in color, and it was just coming straight towards us.
It had some sort of feet, an arm, and it was simply hanging. It didn't move at all. It was floating.
Eyewitnesses report seeing large, human-like creatures floating or flying hundreds of feet above them. Most appear to be wingless, and some are covered with a kind of cape or hard exterior suit. The beings hover or glide silently through the air. Police reports referred to the sightings as unidentified flying humanoids. The witnesses question whether the floating objects are natural, man-made, or the manifestation of a more mysterious phenomenon. But one police officer believes that they're very real.
I start to follow it, and to my surprise, I run into a creature that terrified me.
Officer Leonardo Samaniego was tailing a robbery suspect on the streets of Monterrey when he had an experience that still haunts his dreams.
I see something like a black bag falling down on me when I pass under the tree. I step on the brakes and see a silhouette.
Samaniego quickly realized it was something unimaginable.
When it stands up in front of me, I stop the car and first of all, try to make out what it is.
What he saw appeared female, but didn't seem human.
She starts to hide from the light. She closed her eyes. She had completely black eyes, but I couldn't see any eyelids or anything. She does this, and then quickly turns to face me. I can see that the hat she's wearing goes down like this, as if it were tied down. When she comes down on her back, she doesn't touch the ground and she's like this, with her arms open. She comes down, and that's when I ask for backup.
Samaniego frantically radioed for help as the creature ominously floated towards him, ready to attack.
She starts walking. I put the car in reverse. When I arrive at the street corner, I hear her crash against the windshield. And then I see her like this, and I move back, scared. I didn't know what to do.
Samaniego was knocked unconscious by the flying creature during his encounter.
Later, another officer found me and woke me up. They say that she slapped me 3 times. I don't know. I wasn't aware of anything then.
For many months afterwards, the memory of this creature's face gave the officer nightmares.
Still, every night, I was dreaming about those eyes. With my eyes closed, I could still see her gaze and her face, all of this and her eyes. Her eyes were very present and very, very black. I used to get scared, and I used to wake up scared and crying.
Asustado, llorando.
Even more shocking than Samaniego's account is the fact that there may be video evidence to prove it. In the skies above Santa Monica, California, a bulky humanoid shape is reported floating over this wealthy Los Angeles suburb. Here, a dark, human-like form is seen above craggy peaks near Monterrey, Mexico, close to Samaniego's encounter. Further to the south in Mexico City, several airborne humanoids are filmed drifting above this metropolis of 22 million people. This strange phenomenon has been reported across North America, with similar objects reported in the skies above Arizona, Wisconsin, and Washington state. This video footage will be examined and analyzed by MonsterQuest using sophisticated forensic techniques. But some experts are skeptical that the video is even real.
When I first hear about flying humanoids of this kind, my thought is it's hard to distinguish it from a hoax.
Joe Nickell, a researcher of unexplained phenomena, says that if the videos aren't hoaxes, then the only explanation could be misidentification.
The other possibility is that it's very lightweight, perhaps helium-filled craft, such as you would get from a balloon or a cluster of balloons.
Nickell will only be convinced by hard proof and the evidence that may already exist in the form of a corpse found in Metepec, just 32 miles southwest of Mexico City. Now MonsterQuest will launch an investigation into this bizarre phenomenon. The expedition team has traveled to Monterrey, Mexico, the location of many of the sightings of the flying humanoid creatures.
Well, the nation of Mexico is a very magical and mysterious place.
Ken Gerhard, an author from Texas, will lead the search in the location of Officer Samadiego's spine-chilling encounter.
Whatever he encountered that night was very real to him. So my impression is that Leonardo did have some type of encounter with a non-human entity, if you will. It's also interesting to note that many other people in the neighborhood of Guadalupe had reported a similar type of creature flying around. And in fact, police officers came forward after the fact saying that they had also seen this being.
All the eyewitness descriptions that he's reviewed point to a creature that is completely unknown to man.
There's an apparent lack of wings, and all of the animals that we recognize in science, birds, bats, or what have you, of course they rely on wings and constant motion and inertia to remain airborne. That we can't rule out the possibility that we could be dealing with something beyond our realm of understanding. Interdimensional beings, if you will.
In a rugged canyon outside of Monterrey, the team will search for traces of an unknown presence. The area is surrounded by a massive limestone mountain range, which is riddled with caves.
Monterrey is very, very interesting because of the location, because it is sort of pocketed and surrounded by these craggy peaks and mountainous areas. And there are legends and reports that go back here centuries.
Gerhard has enlisted Marco Reynoso, a local investigator, and Sergio Estavillo, a wilderness guide, to help him.
Yes. This is, of course, Monterrey. Geographically speaking, what are we looking at here as far as what do we have in terms of these surrounding mountains, caves, and so forth? What is the lay of the land, so to speak?
Yes, here we have the Cerro de las Mitras. It's a mountain where you can find different mines and caves. This part, here we have El Cerro de la Silla. Is like
Reynoso has collected details of numerous local sightings of humanoid creatures.
I have many reports of other policemen in the Santa Catarina River, and other reports in other zone, Apodaca County.
Shortly after beginning their search, the team meets a local rancher who tells them about unusual aerial activity.
They do come down close to where people are, because a short while ago in the hills of Guitarrita, some members of my family were around and a UFO came down. I've seen them over there, and they've come down there by the Guitarrita. They've never harmed anybody, but people are shocked and get scared.